Dollemocracy. Facing down pessimistic politics with realistic optimism.
So, briefly, we're going to talk about the Gavin Newsom, Ron DeSantis debate on Fox News with Sean Hannity as the moderator. Now, I was very surprised that Ron DeSantis went through with this because Gavin Newsom was pretty open with the media, almost laughing when he would talk about this. Like, I don't know why Ron DeSantis is wasting his time talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm not running for president. He's running for president. Like, why would he agree to do this? And then you also think about how Ron DeSantis has almost no interpersonal skills. He struggles to smile authentically. He struggles to interact authentically.
He's constantly licking his lips and his jaw is twitching and grinding. He's a fundamentally unlikable character.
Strong dry mouth, it appears, with Ron DeSantis. But so the governor of Florida, the governor of California, they went head to head in a debate that was moderated by Sean Hannity. And I guess we just want to kind of talk about this in that Gavin Newsom is a very effective politician and he's very talented.
Yes.
And I think that many Democrats could take some pointers from how he handled this debate.
By the way, do you see that risk, Governor Newsom?
Hold on. I mean,
do you see the risk?
Joe Biden put out not only a comprehensive plan, he consistently puts up plans. Hold on, no, but Sean,
is there a risk?
I'm going to answer your question. I support border security. I think the asylum system is broken. I believe that we need.
I understand that.
I'm the only guy here that's a border state governor. You're trolling folks and trying to find migrants to play political games to try to get some news and attention so you can out-Trump Trump. And by the way, how's that going for you, Ron? You're down 41 points in your own home state. On the issue of immigration, Joe Biden put.
What was the upside? What would have been the upside for Ron DeSantis winning, quote unquote, a debate with another governor? If you want to be elevated on a presidential candidate stage, you debate other presidential candidates. You don't debate a random governor, Democrat. Like, what are you doing?
I don't know. I do not know what the upside. I don't know what he was hoping for. I mean, and the deck was really stacked against Gavin Newsom here because it wasn't just that he was debating Ron DeSantis. He also had to deal with Sean Hannity interrupting him and not letting him talk.
The fix was in for sure because it's on a Fox News stage, moderated, quote unquote. I'm doing air quotes real big today, by Sean Hannity, who's also an advocate and an ally of Ron DeSantis. So it was a debate between Gavin Newsom and Sean Hannity / Ron DeSantis.
Yes, because there were times where Gavin Newsom would start talking over Ron DeSantis and Sean Hannity would jump in and say, no, you need to let him answer. But then there were periods where Ron DeSantis was talking over Gavin Newsom and he's just letting him talk over Gavin Newsom. And it really turned into a mess. So frankly, I didn't watch the entire thing because I was like, this isn't really great. This is obviously not being moderated well. And I don't care. But I think there are lessons in it. And this next clip illustrates one in particular where, you know, on the last episode, we talked about that New York Times article where they spoke to a voter who believed that because the abortion bans went into effect during Biden's administration, that Biden is anti-abortion. And we talked about why a voter might believe that. And we talked about many different things that could play a role in that. But I think when Gavin Newsom talked about abortion during this debate, it really illustrated how Democrats can and should be talking about abortion because really I think it's a popular way to do it.
Very specific. Do you support any restrictions at all on abortion, especially in months 7, 8, and 9, past viability?
I'm going to answer that question, but let's talk about the issue of abortion. Let's talk about the issue of abortion.
You're going to answer it?
I'm going to answer that question. Okay. I'll repeat that. But I think this is important, and it bears repeating. Ron DeSantis has signed the most extreme anti-abortion bills in America. He signed a bill banning any exceptions for rape and incest. And then he said it didn't go far enough and decided to sign a 6-week ban before women even know they're pregnant, Ron, before women can even access a doctor's appointment. So extreme is your ban that criminalizes women and criminalizes doctors that even Donald Trump said it was too extreme. On the issue of the extreme exception that you highlight as it relates to the issue of later term abortion, it's almost always because of a fetal anomaly, the life of the mother. And in those rare cases, I trust, and answer your question, I trust the mother and her doctor to make that decision.
So in other words, I want to be clear on this. If a woman and her doctor, for any reason...
Not for any reason.
No, I'm asking...
Sean Hannity's doing the very thing that they constantly do, which is a propaganda move, because the facts remain that the percentage of abortions that take place at that time period in the development of the fetus there are no convenience. I'm doing air quotes again. Damn it. There are no convenience abortions at that time. It is severe crisis mode, and it's a decision between the pregnant individual, the one carrying the fetus, and the physician, the trained expert, the person who has taken an oath to do no harm, to treat their patient. Just come on.
Yeah, I think that he could have been stronger here, but I think it was generally pretty good because
he's stronger in his language than Biden is.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's the important thing. But he could have cited the stat, which is that less than 1% of abortions occur at 21 weeks or beyond. That's it.
Right. So the number of abortions that are taking place beyond that is minuscule. In the grand scheme, they're complaining about a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of abortions that take place.
Right, and I think people are starting to understand this because the people who call themselves pro-life, the people who are anti-abortion, have always said that, you know, there should be a cutoff when viability happens. And reasonable people will say, well, that makes sense because I don't want a baby to suffer in the womb. But the thing is that people aren't getting to 21 weeks or beyond and just finally sitting down to decide how the baby's going to impact their life and then decide to get rid of it. No, it's something has gone horribly wrong. And that's what Gavin Newsom highlighted in an effective way, I believe, which is if you're talking about abortions in the 7th, 8th, or 9th month, something has gone terribly wrong. It's for the life of the mother. Something is wrong with the baby. It's not going to survive outside of the womb. And so it is a minuscule number of abortions, and it's also in situations that are horribly tragic. So why would we place a ban on that when it's not a problem of people just getting to the 9th month and changing their mind?
Yeah, it's recognizing that a trauma is taking place and then compounding upon that trauma. That's what that's the ultimate strategy here by Republicans. They want to appeal to people's reason, but it's not the full picture. In fact, it's a distortion of the picture that actually exists.
Yeah. So this final clip is where they're talking about how things are going down in Florida, particularly the book bans and the attacks on education, which we talk a lot about on this show. And I think this clip really demonstrates Gavin Newsom's strengths as a politician.
You've been on a banning bench. 1,406 books have been banned just last year under Ron DeSantis' leadership. I love that he keeps pulling this out. I've seen this. He's been doing this all over the campaign trail. What's wrong with Toni Morrison's books?
It's not banned.
What's wrong? It's not true.
It's not.
What's wrong with Amanda Gorman's?
It's not banned.
And the poetry. 1,406. 1,406 books have been banned on your banning bench in the state of Florida. As it relates to parental rights, come on. California, it's in our Constitution, parental engagement. It's called the LCFF process. We actually require parental engagement on curriculum development. And we don't. Complete lie. We don't require K through 3rd grade sexual education. That doesn't happen until middle school. What you're doing is using education as a sword for your cultural purge. And you know what? With all due respect, you know, I remember in the 1970s, we had a bill called the Briggs Initiative. And there was a guy by the name of Ronald Reagan so offended by the Briggs Initiative, which was the original Don't Say Gay bill. In that case, it was not allowing teachers that happened to be gay to teach. And Reagan had the courage to stand up, and he said, you can't catch gay like you can measles. I don't like the way you demean people. I don't like the way you demean the LGBTQ community. I don't like the way you demean and humiliate people you disagree with, Ron. I really find this fundamentally offensive, and this is a core value that distinguishes the values of my state and, frankly, the vast majority of Americans against the weaponization of education and the purging that he's advancing.
I have a follow-up question.
Of course, Hannity trying to save, like, oh shit, this is going off the rails. Our side is being drubbed right now. But what is taking place when you're listening to this, when you're watching this, is he's saying not banned, not banned. This is a semantics thing with him, because at another point in the debate, he breaks out a page from Gender Queer, I believe the graphic novel is, and says, see, this just doesn't belong in a classroom. So he's saying it's not banned, it's just not allowed in the libraries in the school. That's a ban, bro. That's exactly what it is. And your semantic argument, one, I don't think plays with anybody, because his side wants the books banned.
Yes.
They want the books banned. So when he says they're not banned, they know he's lying. We know he's lying. Where's the argument well served here? I don't understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So overall, I think it was positive for Gavin Newsom to, you know, I guess practice his skills.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Listen, and we're not, I'll speak for myself, I'm not like totally in the tank for Gavin Newsom. I complained about him when he was our governor. During COVID, he did some shit that I was very much opposed to. His maskless dinners at the French Laundry. He didn't lead by example in that particular way, and it very much disappointed me. But I don't think it's a deal breaker for his future political career. I think he is an effective leader, a progressive, and do we still have complaints about the way? Absolutely, because he's not going to govern the way I would govern if I was governor. He's doing things, trying to build coalitions, and sometimes he's going to fall short. But on the whole, I think he does a really good damn job.